you look at the NFL and what they're choosing to do to grow the game, getting Peyton Manning in the booth now. Big news, of course, ESPN announcing that Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are going to be part of this simulcast now for Monday Night Football. Interesting way to grow the game. I don't know what that does to the broadcast on traditional television with Brian Griese and Steve Levy and Louis Riddick. And that feels like a real X's and O's NFL show. That feels like if you love football, if you want to dissect nickel defense and corner coverage and what are they going to do with the slot and motion, let's turn on those guys. That seems like what the hang is.
Yep.
Peyton and Eli goofing on Twitch, or I don't even know where it's going to be broadcast. Is it ESPN2? Is it the Ocho?
Yeah,
Is
who
it
knows?
somewhere digital? It's somewhere else.
ESPN Plus,
that's going to be
maybe?
a much different experience that maybe
Plus,
cannibalizes the audience a little bit, but I don't know. I think I'd rather tune into Peyton and Eli than the main crew on Monday Night Football.
It's going to cannibalize the audience a lot.
But either way, they got them in the Mouse House. Either way, if they're watching on the Peyton stream or the Steve Levy broadcast, at the end of the day, they're watching on the mothership, so that's what they want.
True that.
Yeah, I think more it's just got to be to drive viewers to Plus, to ESPN Plus, to the app or whatever. But I just think if I'm on that main broadcast, it kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. Just in terms of, like, I know you were trying to get Peyton Manning on the Monday Night Football booth forever, but, like, why would you do it at our expense?
But I don't think this is at our expense. I think this is actually giving us the best Peyton Manning we could see as a broadcaster. Because he could easily slip in there, put on the shirt and tie and the jacket and give you some analysis and try to, like, Trojan horse a joke in every once in a while. But this platform allows him to really kind of take the wheels off the track and just go nuts and just have fun and be different. And he's such a great improver and he's such a quick wit. You don't want to see him trying to play a sportscaster. I think it's a great opportunity. I think the all-time greats, the super goats, when they retire, they got to change the game a little bit with how they enter that next phase of their career. I mean, I think what D. Wade's doing, nobody's loving retirement like Dwayne Wade. This guy's out wine tasting on the North Fork of Long Island. He's hosting theCUBE. He's on TNT. He's doing a great job, I think, in his post-playing career. But
Bought part of the Jazz.
Yeah.
Bought part of the Jazz? That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Out there supporting the team-in-law. And what a long-term play from the Jazz ownership group to try to get Donovan Mitchell to stay long-term. Like, hey, we know Dwayne Wade's your mentor. He bought some of the team now. Aren't you going to stay here?
Man.
We'll move off Rudy Gobert. Don't worry about it. But I think it's a great opportunity for Peyton to kind of take his career somewhere, and what he's done as a broadcaster we all enjoy. I don't want to see him doing a bad Phil Simms. I don't want to see him doing a bad Tony Romo. I want to see him doing his thing.
Ben, to go back to what Chris was saying, and I get what you mean. It's great for Peyton and fans of Peyton, but if you're Steve Levy or one of the other guys, you know that you're going to be judged by your ratings, right? And so, yeah, that's fine. Peyton can be Peyton, but you are taking away from people potentially watching me who are definitely now going to flip the channel, go to Plus or wherever, and watch Peyton. So I can understand, like you said, how if you were one of those guys on the normal broadcast, that's probably got you a little heated.
Hey, that was just kind of my point. Like, it just gives more ammo to the trolls who always point to declining NFL ratings and this is down and this. And, I mean, look, a lot of that has to do with the game. It has nothing to do with the broadcast team. But if you are on the broadcast team, you're trying to do your best. And when you're competing on your same network, your same platform against the Manning brothers, and then whatever XYZ celebrity, friend, famous person, Hall of Famer they happen to roll in, like if Snoop shows up one day, like you said, TJ, suddenly it's Snoop, Eli, and Peyton.
That's a wrap.
Oh, man. What broadcast are you watching?
That's a wrap.
Yeah, but hey, I'm human resources or the talent department at ESPN. I can say, hey, Steve, would you rather be back in Bristol doing SportsCenter highlights, or you want to go call Monday Night Football? I know there's going to be some people watching the Peyton Manning stream as well. But this is a great. He's saying, you know what? This sounds like a pretty good gig.
Yeah, he's not going to quit, obviously, but still, you can't be that, like, you have to be a little worried that people aren't going to tune in to watch you.
But Monday Night Football, I think we're all of a generation where we look at it as this, crown jewel of American television, and we think of Howard Cosell, and we think of all the iconic moments, and we think of Brett Favre throwing all the touchdowns after his father's passing, and all these moments that really defined not only, our love of football, but also a connection to a larger, American community on some level. The way people get their content and information is totally different now. And to those points about the Nielsen ratings going down, of engagement on television or the ratings going down, it's just a dated metrics. Well, guess what? The Twitch numbers are through the roof. The TikTok numbers are at an all-time high. There's more likes on social media than there were 10 years ago. So the metrics has changed. The scoreboard's changed. So let any of those trolls, Brockman, say, hey, nobody's watching the games. Well, guess what? Everybody's rewinding Odell's catch a gabillion times. So the engagement is there. And I just think, we're at this shift in media. And I enjoy talking media and how sports are documented and covered and presented to us as fans. And I think, we just have to kind of change the scoreboard and say, okay, well, maybe we're not watching the game on a traditional Monday night broadcast, but we're watching on our phone. We're engaging on Twitter. We're seeing highlights across your Instagram. And I think that's a new metric or a way to quantify if something's a success and grabbing a hold of the zeitgeist. And I don't want to watch Peyton Manning up there being stuffy and having to be corporate and not do his thing. I want to see him letting it rip, in the words of the great Matthew
and I
McConaughey.
think that's the point.
Right.
We all do. So what you're saying is all correct. Like, we understand this, fine. But just getting back to the Steve Levy's of the world, just that particular person, that particular crew has to be feeling a certain way. For the rest of us, you're right. We know that, numbers are down because, we're watching on our phone, we're watching later. But, if you're calling Monday Night Football, like you said, and that is held in high regard, I
would say, don't worry, guys. You're going to be on in a lot of airport bars without the volume on. Don't worry. You'll be on in a lot of gyms where people will read what you're saying.
But the
They're
thing
not
about
going to
that
hear
is,
it.
why have the regular traditional broadcast at all? If you really want to shake things up and change the game, then just have this be the broadcast.
Right.
You don't need,
But the NFL is not going to go 0 to 100. The NFL is going to take
I
a
totally
long time
understand that.
to ramp
and
it up, and
ESPN's
that's
not
understandable.
not going to do it either. But let's kind of ease our way in with, okay, we're trying something new. Like, we're going to have the first all-female broadcast Major League Baseball game soon, and that is incredible. And that's kind of what I'm saying is, like, let's just try it. Let's maybe go a week where we just have one broadcast and it's Peyton and his brother yucking it up.
Tonight for Game 6 of the NBA Finals, would you rather watch Mike, Jeff, and Mark, or would you rather watch a whole crew of your favorite former players hanging out, telling stories? Vince Carter sitting there talking about what it was like to guard guys.
I like the
I'd be
college
down for
football,
that.
the championship, when they have those secondary. I watch those all the time. I think it's great.
Like, for
watching that
instance,
secondary stream.
When the show, the match, happened. Now, we all know, like, I was definitely into Colin Morikawa this weekend.
Of course.
And so
Here's
I
a
had
kid from Kenyatta Flynn Ridge.
Yeah, the mechanic.
The mechanic. Yeah, you tell his story better than I can.
But
man.
a lot of people who aren't really as on golf as I am, they probably didn't watch. But the match, when you had that match with the celebrities and you had the announcers calling a golf competition differently, that to me would help draw people, and it definitely had to have helped draw people.
Look, a diehard football fan's going to watch the broadcast. Maybe you'll have your second screen open now. You'll have, if you're watching at home, you'll have Steve Levy on television, and you'll have Peyton and his brother and Eli on the computer, and you'll have the two screens going.
Right.
I think that's the thought process behind it. Maybe they'll push back and forth a little bit to get it going. But I think this simulcast stuff's here to stay.
Yeah.
I don't think it cannibalizes the audience. I think the audience just finds the broadcast they want to watch. Now you get more options as a fan. Nobody ever turned on a game just for the broadcaster. You've turned off games because you don't like the broadcaster. But no one says, I was not going to watch this game, but I just love the analyst, so I'm going to give it a watch.
I'm a big Don Criqui guy.
I don't really
I'm
care who
tuning in.
wins the game, but boy, when they put Booger in that chair and they send him down the sideline, I got to watch that.
That blocked my view. I wasn't happy about that.
So, I don't know. Interesting. And you got to think, too, for ESPN, just getting Peyton Manning. I mean, Peyton Manning was definitely one of those. Remember when Shaq retired and he had his press conference and he said, my agent's taking calls, like I'm open for business.
On Monday,
ESPN, Turner, who wants to cut the check?
Yeah.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.